How would you like to be able to play your Nintendo Switch anywhere? Oh wait, you can already do that. But this thing's tiny. How would you like to be able to play your Nintendo Switch on a big screen anywhere? Well, I hope you have a lot of money and don't really care too much about the well-being of your Switch. But hey, it sure does look cool, doesn't it? All right, we're gonna turn this off because it is very loud. Okay, this isn't the first projector that I've talked about here on this channel. I've previously checked out this BenQ gaming projector, and before that, I didn't really know much about projectors. Apparently, gaming projectors are really hard to come by. Projectors naturally have a really low refresh rate. The way digital light projectors work is they flash red, green, and blue color channels so fast that they appear to be one image. This explains why when I took a picture with a shutter speed of 1/1000, the channels appeared separated. You can actually see how the color scans work. This is why frame rate is hard to equate on projectors. It looks like 60 frames, but the colors don't really catch up. Because of this, projectors usually have a lot of lag. There's a disconnect between what's happening on your device and what's happening on screen. This can make gaming on one very difficult. Gaming projectors reduce this lag as much as possible, but let's face it, you're not getting this thing for the optimal gaming experience. You're getting it because it's a cool concept. Look at how tiny this thing is. And your Nintendo Switch just slots right onto the back of it. It's super easy to use. It just comes with a charger and the device. It even has a battery inside, so you can play it anywhere you have a flat white wall. The settings are also very minimal as well. There's no settings for different colored walls, but you can change the color temperature, which might help compensate a little bit. The box claims 3 hours of battery life, 2 times speakers, and a 30,000 hour lifespan on the projector's LED bulb. I don't know about that, but I'm sure the bulb will last way longer than you'll ever be using this thing for. This is a very, very niche product. You're only gonna be using this with your Nintendo Switch. It does have an audio-video input, but you're not gonna be using that for any of your other HD gaming consoles. There is one other product just like this that you may have heard of before. It's called the OJO projector. It's the same concept, but a slightly neater design. I would have talked about the OJO projector earlier. I was definitely interested in it, but they ghosted me twice. And they're the ones who reached out to me both times. What did I do? Is it something I said? Is it my hair? Did they not like my hair? Well, anyway, they met their crowdfunding goal in December of 2017, and since then, I haven't really heard much about them. Besides all the other YouTubers who got it sent to them and were making videos about it. You know how it is. Also, the OJO projector is only 480p and was set to retail at $400. The AAXA projector is 720p and retails at $300. 720p might sound low, but for a projector, especially one of this size, it's actually pretty great. For something so small, it flings a pretty large image. The focus ring is very sensitive, so it's a little hard to get right, but it works fine. The box claims the screen can get up to 100 inches, and to my surprise, the image looks pretty decent at that large of a size. You're gonna need to throw it on boost mode though, because the image darkens the further back you push it. And the picture quality will be a little bit worse. I found the optimal image to be at around 50 inches, which is huge considering the size of this thing. But you're still gonna want boost mode on because even though it's passable with it off, the brighter image just looks nicer. But boost mode is not available when the device isn't connected to power. And I'm sure this 3 hours of battery runtime that the box is advertising is on eco mode, which is its dimmest setting. Yeah, you ain't getting 3 hours out of this thing. I would recommend just always keeping the charger with you or expect a really short play session. The speakers are also surprisingly good at normal volume. Anything louder than a laptop speaker and the audio quality just falls apart. It's a 2-watt speaker, so don't expect too much. There's a headphone jack, but the whole appeal of this thing is that this one little device is all that you need to get a Smash party going. If you're super into Smash though, don't expect any frame-perfect timings. The input lag is minimal, but there still is input lag. I didn't notice it too much, but I'm also not zero over here. This projector may be better suited for something like Mario Kart or maybe some casual Smash Brothers gameplay. But Smash Brothers on a projector is probably better than no Smash Brothers at all. Or 4 players on this little tiny screen versus 4 players on this big screen with a little bit of input lag. Overall, I was very surprised with how well this thing worked. I heard some horror stories about the OJ01, so my expectations were very low for this AAXA one. They need to fix that name. AAXA? AAXA? There's just one little tiny concern of mine that if you're a fan of this channel, I'm sure you've probably been asking the same question. I thought third-party docks weren't safe for your Switch. Any device that provides power to your Switch that isn't officially licensed by Nintendo could potentially cause problems for your Switch, like, for example, bricking it. If you want more info on that, go watch my video on that. I asked AAXA what they've done to fix the USB-C power consumption issue that the Switch has while docked on third-party docks, and they responded, for bricking, we're using the same setup as Nintendo's official dock, so don't expect any bricking issues. In regards to the power consumption issue, we don't have any that we are aware of. It's entirely possible that they shoved an official Nintendo dock into this thing. It actually looks like an official Nintendo dock from the outside. The guts of the official dock are only about 1.5 inches squared, so they would totally fit in here. What doesn't make sense then is the power adapter, because this thing ain't USB-C. I would love to open this thing up and see for myself, but all these warnings about lead and cobalt scare me. And besides, even if it is the official Nintendo dock, it's not the official Nintendo charger. My point here is that third-party docks are still a use-at-your-own-risk accessory. There's no reason to buy a third-party dock pretty much ever. Just buy the official Nintendo one. But for a specialty device as cool as this thing, just know that every time you dock your Switch on here, you're risking fatal damage. This projector is $300. So if you're buying this thing, you've already got some money laying around, Uncle Pennybags. All I'm saying is, you better have another $300 for another Switch. Break this thing out for parties, and that's it. Use it sparingly. It'd be pretty cool to have at like a backyard barbecue or a camping trip. It's currently only available at B&H and Best Buy. Oh, of course, Best Buy. Best Buy also being the only big box retailer to sell their own third-party Nintendo Switch dock, even after all this controversy. So what do you guys think about this dope-ass projector? Is this something you'd like to try out for yourself? Is it even worth the risk? I'm taking mine out of here right now. You can leave it in the comments below, at me on Twitter, all this other social media garbage. You know what? If you have if you run a camp or something, or you have a business where you got a bunch of kids together, like I could see if the company's paying for the Switch, I mean, who cares if you break it? But even then, just get a TV. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Anyway, we got new videos and live streams all of the time. Live streams here on YouTube and live streams over on twitch.tv/wolfden. Follow us on both of those and get notifications so you know when we're live and stuff. And if you want videos like this one early, you can support us either here on YouTube by clicking that join button, or you can support us over there on Twitch using Twitch Prime, which is free if you have Amazon Prime. And link your account to Discord, or you can get into our supporter-only Discord where we post these videos early. But of course, the most important thing you could do is just subscribe, that's it. And share this video with a friend who has a lot of parties and you would like to play Switch with at those parties with one of these guys. Maybe you can get him to risk his Switch for it. Thank you guys very much. You have yourself a very good weekend, a happy and a healthy, you know? New Year. I'm talking about the new year. Okay. You like this view?